the notifications, like, they just completely lit up. The timeline completely froze.
Right. Fans literally had to do a double take. Just, rubbing their eyes in pure, unadulterated shock.
Yeah, the servers on multiple keyforms were practically struggling to refresh.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in an instant, a single photo just turned the entire K-pop world upside down.
And the headline screaming across entertainment sites globally, thought she was naked.
Welcome to Starscope K-Report.
Join us as we ride the Hallyu wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major K-drama updates.
Exactly. From internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
And today, we're unpacking the massive shockwaves sent by BLACKPINK Jennie's Copenhagen sauna photos.
Yes. Plus, we're getting into the grueling, ice-cold physical routine behind her flawless visuals.
Right. And we can't forget the fierce fandom war currently raging over her fashion evolution.
Oh, the fandom war is intense right now. So let's lay out the timeline of this absolute internet meltdown.
Yeah, let's do it. So the photo in question drops on July 4th. Jennie is enjoying some downtime in Copenhagen, Denmark, and she uploads a carousel of images to her Instagram.
You know the type, like food shots, city walks.
Exactly. The usual aesthetic tourist updates that idols post when they get a rare day off.
But tucked right into the middle of this post, acting as a complete ambush for anyone swiping through, is a picture of her sitting in a wooden sauna.
And this is the exact moment the entire fandom collectively skipped a heartbeat.
I mean, my jaw dropped, because she is wearing a bikini that is both nude-toned and leopard-print.
Right, and I am looking at the photo right now. The exact shade of that nude-toned fabric perfectly, seamlessly matches the cedar-colored wooden walls of the sauna right behind her.
It created the ultimate optical illusion.
It really did.
For about 3 terrifying seconds, netizens scrolling at light speed thought their ultimate bias had just uploaded a fully nude photo to her millions of followers.
Which is just, wow.
And for anyone new to the Hallyu wave listening right now, your bias is your absolute favorite member of a group.
Right, the one you support fiercely.
Exactly. So seeing your bias potentially make a, career-ending social media mistake.
Oh, man.
The panic was visceral. You could practically hear the agency executives gasping all the way from Seoul.
But looking at the timestamps on the comment sections, that panic lasted mere seconds.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Once the eyes adjusted to the lighting, the horror just turned into a massive sigh of relief. And then, inevitably, pure awe.
Oh, the comments were wild.
They flooded in across platforms like, she's so beautiful, incredible style, she looks amazing.
It was essentially a masterclass in breaking the internet without actually breaking any agency rules.
Right. But what's fascinating to me, taking off the fan hat for a second, is how this single optical illusion completely hijacked the global conversation.
Oh, totally. Because we have to remember why she was in Copenhagen in the first place. She wasn't just there for a sauna session and some Danish pastries. She was there to make music history.
Let's look at the data on that, because the contrast is wild to me. Later that very same day, she stepped out of that sauna and onto the stage at Denmark's Roskilde festival.
Such a huge moment.
For those who aren't familiar with the European live music circuit, Roskilde is a titan.
It really is.
It pulls in over 100,000 attendees every single year. It is widely compared to the UK's Glastonbury in terms of cultural impact. It is massive, it is legendary, and historically it is heavily, almost exclusively, rock and indie focused.
And knowing the history of that festival makes this moment so electric.
Yeah.
Jennie stood on that stage as the first ever K-pop artist to headline the festival.
Which is insane.
Think about the gravity of that trajectory. From grinding in a windowless Seoul training room for years as a rookie to standing in front of 100,000 European music purists as a solo headliner. She didn't just break a glass ceiling, she completely obliterated it.
Yeah, she did.
It proves that the global Hallyu wave isn't just some fleeting pop trend. It is a permanent ocean current fundamentally changing the landscape of global live music.
Achieving an all-kill on the domestic Korean charts, which, is where a song hits #1 across all major streaming platforms simultaneously. That is an incredible metric of success.
Oh, for sure.
But conquering a European rock festival this magnitude is a completely different paradigm.
It's a whole other level.
Yet, here is the paradox of this whole saga. You have this historic, barrier-breaking musical achievement, and the front-page news across entertainment sites is An optical illusion selfie.
I know, it's so frustrating sometimes.
It's like an Olympic gymnast winning the gold medal with a flawless, physics-defying routine. But the front page news the next morning is entirely about a weird shadow on her leotard.
That is exactly it.
The achievement is staggering, yet the aesthetic completely hijacks the conversation.
That analogy hits the nail on the head. It perfectly encapsulates the duality of being a top-tier idol today. You are judged as a global musician, but you are consumed by the public as a visual icon. The aesthetic often moves faster than the achievement because the internet just feeds on visual shock value.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And hey, if you want to track how these massive viral moments actually impact chart histories and idol careers, make sure you subscribe to Starscope K Report.
Because behind that viral sauna photo, there's actually a brutal reality of what it takes to survive a stage like Roskilde.
Yeah, and that's not even the wildest part of this story.
Exactly. We always see the glamorous stage, you know, the 100,000 screaming fans, the flawless designer outfits.
Right, it's the perfect image.
But let's pull back the curtain on the unseen reality.
How?
How does an idol actually survive the physical toll of an international tour schedule?
It got to be exhausting.
How do you recover from hours of explosive choreography, back-to-back long-haul flights, and the relentless pressure to perform flawlessly?
The answer, ironically, was hiding right there in the Copenhagen photo.
Yes, the sauna. And more importantly, the freezing water right next to it.
Let's analyze this athletic recovery, because the Instagram post was actually documenting a highly regimented wellness routine.
Mm-hmm.
In a detailed interview with Vogue, which was also heavily covered by the Hindustan Times, Jennie revealed that she relies on intense cold water plunges.
And when we say intense, we mean almost punishing.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't just hop in, take a breath, and hop out. According to her breakdown, she sets a literal alarm. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, sometimes pushing it to 2 minutes and 30.
That is a long time in ice water.
And every single time she does it, she forces herself to add 5 to 10 seconds. She is constantly moving the goalposts on her own physical discomfort.
I want to break down the actual biology of why she subjects herself to this, because cold water plunging isn't just some Hollywood wellness fad.
Right, there's science behind it.
Exactly. There's rigorous science backing it up. Studies from the National Center for Biotechnology Information show that cold plunges trigger a massive physiological response.
Oh, wow. Like what?
Well, when you are dancing at the level of a K-pop headliner, your muscle fibers are constantly micro-tearing, and your joints are severely inflamed.
Makes sense.
The extreme cold forces your blood vessels to rapidly constrict, a process called vasoconstriction.
Okay, I see.
This effectively flushes out the lactic acid buildup and reduces swelling.
That's incredible.
But WebMD also notes the severe risks. Doing it wrong, like jumping in too fast without regulating your breath, can shock the nervous system, trigger dangerous spikes in heart rate, or even induce hypothermia.
And the discipline required to manage that biological shock is staggering.
Can't even imagine.
She describes the moment her foot hits the water as instant piercing pain.
Ouch.
But she uses highly specific breathing techniques to control the sheer panic that her nervous system is throwing at her.
Wow.
The body is screaming fight or flight, and she just forces herself to stay still. She literally tells herself, you are not going to die in this water.
That is intense.
It becomes a daily ritual of confronting raw fear.
Wait, let me pause you there. I completely understand the physical recovery aspect for a touring athlete. But the cold plunge is just one piece of this puzzle, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because reports detail her broader regimen, and it is relentless. Like, from Jack Grilla, we know she's doing heavy Pilates.
Yes.
Specifically, an exercise called the 100, which requires holding a V-sit while rapidly pumping your arms 100 times to torch the core.
It hurts just thinking about it.
Right. She's doing dynamic planks, aerial yoga, and then there is the diet.
The diet is so strict.
Porridge, avocado salads, detox juices, and she specifically cuts out salt entirely to avoid facial swelling.
Yeah.
I had to play devil's advocate here, cutting out salt down to the milligram just to avoid a tiny bit of facial puffiness. Is the scrutiny really that unforgiving, or is this a borderline obsessive response to industry pressure?
Honestly, to understand the salt restriction, we have to look at the biology of the diet combined with the pressure of K-pop visuals.
Okay, lay it on me.
Avocados are packed with potassium, which biologically counteracts sodium. It operates on a cellular level to draw water out of the body.
Right.
So she is actively biohacking her diet to flush out water weight. And to answer your question about the scrutiny, yes, it really is that unforgiving.
Really, that's brutal.
The lenses of the paparazzi and the high-definition broadcasting cameras are unforgiving. A millimeter of puffiness on an idol's face during a comeback can spawn 1,000 viral articles claiming they are letting themselves go.
Just from a tiny bit of water weight.
Exactly. The comeback is that critical window when a group releases new music and does heavy promotion. Cutting salt is quite literally a survival mechanism against the public eye.
So she is calculating her sodium intake on a biological level, suspending herself from aerial yoga silks, and sitting in freezing water until she goes numb while controlling her vagus nerve.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That leads me to a hypothesis. Is this freezing cold water actually just about physical recovery?
What do you mean?
Because looking at all this data, it sounds like a psychological training ground. By forcing herself to sit in the ice and breathe through the panic, is she actually building the mental armor she needs to survive the toxic side of K-pop fandoms and the relentless netizen scrutiny?
That is a brilliant way to look at it, and she essentially confirmed this herself.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, in her own words, she called the cold plunge a reset button. She said it taught her how to embrace tension and push through seemingly impossible challenges.
Wow.
She specifically mentioned that this exact routine helped her mentally survive the grueling, isolated months she spent locked in the studio working on her solo album.
It makes total sense.
When you debut as a young rookie, the entire industry tries to mold you into a very specific, obedient package.
Right.
To break out of that mold, to become a fiercely independent global solo artist, requires a titanium mindset. The ice water is just a daily practice run for the coldness of the industry.
Well, that titanium mindset she's forging in the ice water, she's going to need every ounce of it right now.
Oh, you mean the backlash?
Yeah. Because that exact same desire to push boundaries and break out of the comfortable agency mold is currently tearing her fandom apart over on the Korean forums.
It really is. Jennie has clearly been physically and mentally toughening herself up. She is evolving.
Definitely.
She is no longer the rookie idol trying to fit perfectly into a strict pre-packaged concept. She is an independent force making her own rules.
And that brings us directly to the viral controversy that is currently splitting her fandom straight down the middle.
It's getting so heated.
Let's lay on the facts of this debate. A post recently went incredibly viral on the popular Korean community forum, Nate Pan. It racked up over 160,000 views almost immediately, completely dominating the daily trending charts.
Yeah, everyone was talking about it.
The original poster uploaded a series of photos of Jennie from the 2019 to 2021 era, think the solo era, which featured slightly more cutesy, classic, polished K-pop styling.
I remember those look so well.
Right. Well, the poster heavily criticized her current modern styling, claiming those past looks were vastly superior and practically begging for her old stylist to come back.
And this wasn't just a passing critique on a forum. It ignited a fierce, deeply polarized war between domestic K-nets, which is short for Korean netizens, and international fans.
Oh, the comments were a battlefield. Let's look at both sides impartially, because both sides feel fiercely justified in their stance.
Okay, so on one side, you have the critics of her new look.
Right.
They argue that her recent fashion, which is heavily Western-influenced and much more provocative, is getting a bit over the top.
That was the phrase they used a lot, yeah.
They feel she's losing the unique, trend-setting buzz she had during her earlier days. They deeply miss that classic, polished, untouchable aesthetic that defined her early career.
That is the argument from the purists. But reading through the international forums and the defenders' replies, they came out swinging with a very different perspective.
Oh, they definitely did.
Their argument is essentially, wake up, look at the calendar, it is not 2019 anymore.
Literally.
They point out that the fashion from 5 years ago is completely outdated in today's landscape. The current global trend is hipster, it's heavily layered, it's experimental.
Exactly.
But their most potent argument relies on basic chronology. Jennie is a grown woman in her late 20s now.
Right.
Dressing more maturely, taking bold fashion risks is just a natural biological and professional evolution.
This specific debate highlights exactly how hardcore fandom psychology operates. It is a fascinating phenomenon.
Break it down for us.
Fans often form intense parasocial relationships and fall deeply in love with a specific era of their bias.
Like capturing lightning in a bottle.
Exactly. Maybe it was the era when they first discovered the group, or a comeback concept that helped them through a particularly hard time in their own lives.
That makes sense.
They emotionally lock that image in their minds. But the idol is a human being who is aging managing, changing, and in Jennie's case, acting as a global fashion ambassador.
Right. She is literally dubbed the human Chanel.
She attends the Met Gala. She doesn't just recycle safe trends to appease fan nostalgia. Her literal job description is to set the trends for the rest of the world to follow.
I completely follow the logic on the fashion industry side. But zooming out to look at the broader K-pop landscape, why is this industry, and specifically these fandoms, so incredibly resistant to its stars growing up?
It's a deep-rooted issue.
We see this everywhere. Even when the maknae, the youngest member of a group, who the fans naturally want to baby and protect forever, when they finally become a full-fledged adult, fans still completely melt down over a mature outfit or a new piercing.
Oh, the piercing meltdowns are legendary.
It feels a lot like when a massive child star from a family-friendly TV show tries to take on a gritty R-rated indie film. The audience revolts.
That's a really good comparison.
They don't want to lose the innocence of the character they first fell in love with. The fans seem to be treating her wardrobe evolution almost like a breach of contract.
That breach of contract feeling is the core tension of the entire idol system. The industry was fundamentally built on selling an accessible, youthful, highly controlled fantasy.
Right.
Fans feel a sense of ownership over the idol's image because they invest so much time and money into their success.
Which, they really do.
When an idol starts adopting highly mature, Western-influenced or provocative fashion, like a leopard-print bikini in Copenhagen, it shatters that perfectly preserved time capsule.
It really bursts the bubble.
It forcefully reminds the fans that the idol has a private life, a body, and a mind completely separate from the fandom's desires.
It's the ultimate tug of war between nostalgia and reality, isn't it?
Absolutely.
A loud segment of the internet wants the 2019 version of her, perfectly preserved in amber. But she is plunging into freezing water, headlining rock festivals in Denmark, and building a global empire on her own terms.
She really is.
She is moving forward rapidly, whether the forums like it or not. And hey, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update as we track how these massive fandom debates unfold and impact the artists we cover.
Exactly. The evolution is inevitable, and the artists who survive are the ones who refuse to apologize for growing up.
Which leaves us with a final thought to mull over today. The next time an idol's outfit breaks the internet or sparks a viral debate on the forums, ask yourself, are we witnessing a simple wardrobe choice? Or are we watching a calculated rebellion?
Ooh, I love that.
Is the idol signaling their independence from an industry that demands absolute perfection, proving that they, and not the netizens, own their image?
Something to think about.
You've been listening to Starscope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the stories shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.